For the first question here, first thing that I did was to find the total ratio. Simply by adding 12, 7 and 8 up, you get 27. So as usual, total times 12 over 27, you will get it as 504. This 12 here is actually the Anna's ratio, and the 27 is actually the total ratio. So by shifting the 12 and 27 to the other side, you will get your final results as 1134. Question B number 1. Keyword here is how much she has left. So it's actually 93% of the total. So for 504 times 93%, you will get the results as 468.72. But for section 2, okay, so this 64.68 is actually a new price, hence original price times the remaining percentage after the discount, okay, which is 77%. So 64.68 divided by 77%, you will get the results as 84. The keyword here for section C is actually compound interest, and they wanted to find the final amount that is inside the bank. Hence you take 250 times 101.6% to the power of 3, you get the results as 262.19. For last part, question D, okay, so find the percentage of profit. Hence you take the selling price minus the cost, divide by the cost price, multiply it by 100, and you get the results as 12.5%. For the next question, calculating ML, okay, so this one we will be using cosine rule, since we have both of the side of KM and KL and the angle MKL. So by substituting the information into the formula, you get the results as 10.9. Section B, the bearing of L from K is 125. Okay, so I then draw down a line over there. Okay, you will get the remaining results as 55. So since they wanted to calculate how far is L south of K, we are using the 55, and the KL will be its hypotenuse. Distance to L is actually adjacent. Hence cosine 55 equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Sub in the value and you will get your final results as 5.16. Number 2 from part B, find the 3 figures bearing of K from M. Okay, so the 108 was being split into 55, hence the balance of the other side will be 53. So 53, using the alternate angle concept, you will get your bearing of K from M as 0.53. Reason why there's a 0 there is because it is less than 100, hence you have to add a 0 at the front. Question 3, pretty straightforward. Just substitute -1, -0.6, 0, 0.6 and 1 into the formula, and you'll get your respective results as 1, 0.98 and 0, -0.98 and -1. Hence, after you drew it down, it should look something like this over here. So section C, on the grid, draw a line y equals to 0.8 you will get your results as negative 1.15, negative 0.45, and 1.55. The other thing is that by drawing a suitable tangent, estimate the gradient of the graph. Okay, so at the point where x equals to negative 1.5, I actually drew it down over there. So tangent lines to take note is that the curve with the line that you have drawn need to have same distance of both sides. Okay, so you should get these two coordinates here, which is negative 1.5, negative 0.38, and the other one will be negative 1.25 and 1. So your coordinate may not be the same as mine. Reason being, the tangent line that we draw, okay, might be different. Okay, however, no worries if your answer is different from mine. There's actually an acceptable range for this question. Hence, after the calculation for my gradient, you will get you 5.5. For question 4, find angle ABC. Okay, so this one is actually using the angle from the diameter concept. Hence, your angle ABC will actually be 90 degrees. Next thing, calculate angle ACB and show that it is 35 degrees. Things you need to take note is for this question, it's actually a right angle triangle. So by focusing at angle ACB, the 7 cm from AB is actually its opposite and BC is actually its adjacent. Okay, so by using tangent, you run the reverse calculation, you should get your final results as 35. The question C, why is it angle ADB equals to angle ACB? So this thing you can identify from the starting point and ending point, okay, which is repeating here, that is A and B. Hence, this proves that it is using the concept of angle from the same segment. As for part D, number 1, calculate the value of AD. Okay, this one will be using sine rule. So sine 77 over AD equals to sine 35 over 7 cm. After the conversion and rearrangement, you get your final results as 11.9. To calculate the area of the triangle ABD, things to identify is the DAB's value. So how do I get it? It's by taking 180 minus 35 minus 77. You get your results as 68. Using half AB sine C's formula, you'll be able to identify the area of this irregular triangle now, which results in 38.6. Okay, as for the last part here, so this is assessing you on mathematically similar concept, and I'm using the comparison method. So for areas, you're required to square root it. So square root of unknown over 10, which is one of the side, equals to square root 12.3 over 11.9. Okay, actually do it down to let you have a better illustration. After the rearrangement, you should get your results as 8.69. Question 5. Okay, pretty straightforward as they already drew the cumulative frequency diagram for you. Okay, for the medium part, simply takes 80, which is the total motorist, times 50%, you get 40th. So from 40th, you trace it back, you actually 2.8 hours. Whereby for the upper quartile, simply takes 80%, 80 times 75%, you get it as 60th. So from 60th, you trace it back, it will get you 3.8. As for section 3, the interquartile range, so 80 times 75%, it will get you 60th, and 80 times 25%, it will get you 20th. So the respective results is actually 3.8 and 2. Hence the difference here is 1.8. As for question 9, find the numbers of motorists whose journey took more than 5 hours but no more than 7. So from 5 and 7, you trace it back, it's actually 78 and 72. Hence the difference here is actually 6. So for section C, okay, I actually trace it back manually. So for the range between 4 to 5 hours, it will be 72 minus 63, which is 9. And from 4 to 6, it will be 4. And to 6 to 8, it will be another 4 there. So for you to calculate the mean, okay, you're required to find the midpoint first. So take the frequency times the respective mean and divide it by the total motorists. You get the results as 2.95 hours. As for last part, draw the histogram to represent your information. So I just set up the points, okay, and then draw it as shown. Question 6. Parallelogram has a base of 2x minus 1 and a height of 4x minus 7. Hence, for you to calculate the area, just take 2x minus 1 times 4x minus 7, you get it as 1. So after the expansion, okay, I divided both sides by 2 because I wanted to show the results in the format required by the question. Hence, you will get 4x squared minus 9x plus 3 as the final results. As for section 2 here, we are using the quadratic formula. So A is actually 4 here, B is negative 9, and C is 3. Substitute it into the formula, negative B plus minus square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. You get your results as 0.41 or 1.84. And calculate the height of the parallelogram. So things to take note is you're required to take the most relevant information. If your x value is only 0.41, you will get negative results for your base. Hence your final results is supposed to be using 1.84. So 1.84 times 4 minus 7, you get the results as 0.36. So for section B here, we are using a squared minus b squared formula. We will get you a plus b and a minus b. Hence the results will actually be x plus 4, x minus 4. As for section 2, things to take note is you need to use the information you gotten from B number 1 and sub into the second fraction over there. Okay, so I then change and make their denominator into the same by having x plus 4 and x minus 4 as the denominator. So the first fraction, 2x plus 3, is required to multiply by x plus 4. Okay, after the rearrangement, okay, I took the 2 multiplied with the denominator I have over there. Okay, and your final results after the calculation will be x equals to negative 7. If you're having any issue, feel free to pause this video and work out on the workings here. Section 7. A single transformation from triangle P to Q. Okay, this one is actually a rotation from the origin with 180 clockwise or anti-clockwise. As for Q to R, this one is actually a enlargement with a scale factor of -3 from the point 0, -3. As for R to P, this one will be a enlargement with a scale factor of 1/3 from the point 0.06. As for part B, triangle P after the translation, I label it as P image, whereby for P after reflection from the line x equals to -1, this one will be P double image. For section C of this, okay, you don't have to do because it was excluded from the syllabus already. This one is actually called Sears. So for question 8, okay, list the element of set E. So you need to list down everything that is even numbers from the universal set. It will be 2, 4, 6, and 8. And write down the numbers of element in F. So this is actually 3 because 2, 5, and 7. Factorize it, pretty straightforward. You will get x minus 9, x minus 4. And the results could be 9 and 4. So write down all the elements from the universal set into the Venn diagram below. So after filling it up, it should look something like this. So you need to answer the statement below. So F intersect with G, since there's nothing there, you can set it as empty set. 7 is actually not an element of E, and numbers of E either intersect or union with F will be 6. After the calculation, we actually get the answer as union. Section 9, pretty straightforward. This one is actually a function question. So substitute 3 into F function x position. You will get 3 times 3 plus 5, which is 14. Whereby for function g, you need to substitute x minus 3 into function g x position. You will get it as 7 minus 2 bracket x minus 3. After the calculation, you get it as 13 minus 2x. For section 3, substitute the 5x into h function x position. You get the results as 25x squared minus 8. As for section B, calculating the g's function inverse. So I have a 3 steps formula here as per usual. So it takes gx, translate it into y equals to 7 minus 2x. Step 2, swap the x and y's position. You will get x equals to 7 minus 2y. And for step 3, rearrange and find a new y by taking 2y equals to 7 minus x, y equals to 7 minus x over 2. And this 7 minus x over 2 will be your g inverse. As for section G, okay, I first transform the function x into h bracket 3x plus 5. So you need to substitute this 3x plus 5 into h function's x position. After the expansion and rearrangement, you get a final result as 9x squared plus 30x plus 17. Question D, okay, I change function x into 3x plus 5. Okay, then I substitute this 3x plus 5 into function f's x position. You get your final results as 9x plus 20 equals to 83. So after the rearrangement and calculation, your x should show you results of 7. As for part E, 2 bracket 3x plus 5 bracket less than 7 minus 2x. So after the calculation, you get the x results as less than 3 over 8. Question 10. Okay, calculate the volume of the cone. So if you're using the formula given over there, just substitute your 9 into the position of radius and h as 24. Okay, you will get your final results as 648 pi, okay, which translates into 2040 cm cube after correcting it to 3 significant figures. So a cone height of 8 was being removed. Okay, so I drew down 2 triangle over there to make my calculation easier. So the smaller triangle, okay, the cube root of its volume over height of it, which is 8. Whereas for the larger triangle, it will be cube root of 2040 over the original height of 24. So after the calculation, I get my volume of the small triangle that was missing as 75.6. Hence, the base that's remaining over there will be 2040 minus 75.6 will get you 1964.4. After correcting it to 3 significant figures, you will get 1960. So for part C, so melt it into 5 identical shapes. 1960 divided by 5, you get 392 cm cube. So pi r squared times h. Okay, this one is actually the cylinder formula. Will get you 392. Okay, length will translate into the height here. Step it into the position. Your radius after the calculation will be 2.9. So that's all for this paper. Okay, it's pretty straightforward, nothing really hard. I hope you find this helpful. Okay, if you have friends that are struggling, feel free to share this to them, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming examination. Thank you.